Yer, it's your boy Wade, and we back. We back with another video on Way Beyond Podcast, where we focus on being better than yesterday, being better to today, and then being better a second ago, so that we may sit in heaven when that big day comes. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good? Y'all had a blessed day. Y'all see I got the hat on. It's that time of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's that time of the year. So today title of today's episode is, as you can see, generational curses. I mean, as I like to say, things I decide not to inherit. You know what I'm saying? So last week we talked about overcoming. We talked about how a lot of the stuff that we overcome is on a daily basis, how it's a lot to overcome on a daily basis, and just the fact that, bro, overcoming is hard, and you got to give yourself grace for overcoming. And today I feel like that ties into our message because of the fact that one of the things that we got to overcome as well is generational curses. You know what I'm saying? And I know people don't really speak on too much of generational curses because of the fact that, bro, that's a hard topic. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about generational curses, you got to get down to the nitty gritty of the situation. Like, bro, because when you talk about generational curses, bro, you can't just be like, oh, this is a generational curse. Nah, bro. You got to go to the root of that generational curse to see where all that shit started. You know what I'm saying? And today we're gonna get into we're gonna go over a couple examples of generational curses. I got them all right here. Today's gonna be more of a read off the notes type of day instead of like a free form talking. I'm gonna try to free form talk to y'all too, but I really want y'all to get the understanding of where I'm coming from and really grasp like what a generational curse is. You know what I'm saying? So first thing first, we got poverty and lack mindset. And I feel like, a lot of us have some type of poverty mindset or some type of lack of mindset. And what I mean by that is, when I say about poverty mindset, one thing is living paycheck to paycheck. Come on, bro. We done most of them all been in a situation or seen a situation where we live in paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's really how modern day society is. A lot of people in this world right now live in paycheck to paycheck, and I guarantee they either comfortable in that situation or they're not looking for a way to out that situation because of the fact that nowadays 9 to 5s are damn near praised. Damn near, bro, you're praised. Like, bro, there's so many people that be like, bro, go get a job, bro. How many people got you out here telling you to, nigga, start a business, go start a clothing company, go start makeup, go do hair. And there's people out there that do that, nigga, that do hair, makeup, and all that stuff. And I'm proud of y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Round of applause for them people. I am not playing, bro. If you got your own business out there, bro, and you thriving in it, bro, I'm proud of you because about having your own business. It's not easy. Not easy. It's a lot that comes with that, bro. And a lot of people don't want to do that. But another thing that comes with poverty and lack of mindset is fear of money. A lot of people have, bro, you know the saying that says money is the root of all evil? No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know why people say that. Money is not the root of all evil. Your greed for money is the root of all evil. Your greed for it is the root of all evil. Having money don't make you evil. Just because you got $100,000 to $1,000,000 in your bank don't mean you the freaking antichrist or you just the devil. No, that means you did what you had to do. Go get your money up. That's what you did. You did what you had to do to take care of your family. That is not money is not the root of all evil. And then we got believing this is just life. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that go around life and be like, yeah, this is how it is for me. You know what I'm saying? This is what God. This what God did for me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting no better than this. Who told you that? Who told you it can't get no better than this? Who told you that you're supposed to be on Section 8 working at a darn warehouse for the rest of your life? Who told you that? I know God to tell you that. No way he did. No way he did. No way, no way. I know how. I know he did not tell you that. So yeah, bro, that's a generational curse mindset. Another thing is um absent and emotionally distant fathers. Ooh, that's a crazy one because of the fact that there is a lot of households out here with that are fatherless. And I can tell you, I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Where your dad at? Nah, let me stop playing. But nah, that is a real one, bro. If you grew up in a household where like you didn't have a dad, you probably missed out on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that did have a dad, your dad probably, you could have had a dad that probably wasn't emotionally available, and that's one of them right here. Man not present or emotionally available, which is crazy to me. And then that leads to boys growing up without guidance and then repeating the same distance as an adult. Bro, do you know what it's like to be in a household where I can't tell you what it's like, but I can only imagine what it's like to sit there and be in a household with a man and you try to go to that man about you try to go to your dad about like some real life emotional shit, and he sit there and tell you, chin up, nigga. Men don't cry. It's not funny, but it really happens like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel, and that leads to that can lead to like emotional trauma. That can really lead to like, bro, you being isolated as an adult where you don't want to speak to nobody and stuff like that. And I know I didn't go exactly through that, but I know there's a time where like I would speak my mind. I didn't feel like nobody would listen to me, so I would kind of be quiet too. So I feel like that can happen in households like that where you do have a parent, but that parent is not emotionally available. So that makes you unemotionally available, and that leads into your adult life. Now you're teaching your kids that same thing, and now you got a generation of unemotionally available people, which is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of leads into my next one, which is unhealed trauma, which is abuse, neglect, violence that was never addressed, or passed down anger, or numbness, or no self control. And bro, I feel like a lot of people do walk around here angry. You know what I'm saying, bro? You ever walk down the street and you say what's up to somebody and they mean mug you? Like, why'd you mean mug me, bro? I'm just saying, I'm asking you how your day been, bro. And you just mean mug me. Like, bro, I used to do I used to do door to door sales, and uh not a lot of people know this, a few people know this, but bro, one day when I went to the door, and I kid you not, it probably was like 11:30 in the morning. I knocked on somebody's door, and the first thing they did was pull a gun out of me and told me to get my ass off their doorstep. Bro, that right there, I don't even know what to call that. I want to say that's some trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's some trauma because of the fact that I get it. Somebody random at your doorstep, but like, bro, the first thing you do is pull out a gun and you don't even live in the hood. I was not in the hood. I was not in the hood, not at all. I was very much so in a Latino neighborhood. I was in a Mexican neighborhood. No cap, no cap. But this was African American. So um, which was crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Which was crazy to me. I didn't expect that. And he was older too. He was like, bro was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro might have been 60 or something like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. But he was walking good, no cap. But nah, that and then, it's situations like that, and you also gotta bro, sometimes when you're a kid and like uh say you got an angry parent, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us got angry parents, or I wouldn't say angry parents, but you got them parenting moments where your parents like, you know, they're not feeling, they're not feeling up to par. So like anything you say is snap with an attitude. You know what I'm saying, bro? If you do that too much to a kid, they gonna take that in as like, bro, this is how you communicate, and that's something you don't want because of the fact that, bro, stuff like that make people go quiet, and silence can build generational curses too. So like that's something you have to look out for. And I like to say what isn't healed get what isn't healed get handed down. So you have to watch what you do to other people, especially the ones that look up to you. You know what I'm saying? And then another one that I feel like a generational curse that we go through is addiction, substance, gambling, porn. It said alcoholism or drugs, dependency, coping instead of healing, normalizing destructive habits. When pain isn't faced, it finds a substitute. So if you don't sit there and face a lot of stuff that you go through, a lot of stuff that you should talk about, you know what I'm saying, to other people, when you sit there and try to take it all in and go through it yourself, you try to find a way to cope. That's to everybody. You're gonna find a way to cope in some way. Some people cope by hanging out with their friends. Some people cope by playing sports. Some people cope by playing the game. Some people cope by, just going to go do stuff they like. But then again, you do got people that cope by using drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I know normally when people say drugs, they think, weed, meth, heroin, all that extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's at least what I think. I used to play GTA and stuff like that. So I'm thinking of them, whatever drugs they made us sell in the game or some stuff. But like, nah, bro, it's stuff like that where people really do use substance to sit there and cope with their everyday life, which can, birth a generational curse. And that's where you have great granddad, granddad, dad, and all abuse alcohol when, they done had a stress day. You see that all the time, you're gonna be the next person. You might be the next person. You know what I'm saying? If you don't yourself sit there and be like, no, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't sit there and do that, bro, you might be the next person. And another curse that we go through is anger and emotional volatility, which means explosive reactions, verbal abuse normalized, as communi- children see rage as communication. That's a big one right there. To me, I feel like, bro, you a child and you see your parents, you see your parents you grew up with your parents arguing all the time, bro. You gonna think that's so normal. You're gonna think that's normal, and then even if you don't, you're gonna be like, I don't want a relationship because I don't want to sit there and argue all the time because of the fact that who want to sit there and argue all the time. You get what I'm saying? That's a generational curse. Whether it's I don't want a relationship or you think it's normal, whichever one it is, that's both generational curses. Which I feel like some of us grew up learning that anger was a language. You know what I'm saying? And anger is not a language. You can sit down and have a regular conversation with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can sit down and have a low tone conversation and still be able to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? I feel like communicating through anger is a generational curse that a lot of people have to break. And that's, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when I was in a relationship, when I got to a certain point, see, at first I would try to, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them ones, it take a lot to get to me. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to me, I'm there. I'm already there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I won't realize till I'm there until after I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that. I hate that because 9 times out of 10, what I just said, I ain't really want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Or I didn't want to say it that way. It would have been a different way that I could have said that to communicate, how I was feeling to you instead of sitting there bursting out at you over anger. And now I done said something that'll hurt your feelings and low key hurt my feelings. Now we both in our feelings. I feel bad because I said what I said. You feel bad for what I said. You get what I'm saying? It's stuff like that, bro, you can stop before it even happened by acknowledging the generational curses. You know what I'm saying? And then another one is fear-based living. And when I say fear-based living, I mean, bro, you scared to do something because you think you're gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? Or ironically, you scared to do something because you don't feel like you will succeed, or you feel like you will succeed too much. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say that, it's a lot of people in this world that want to be YouTubers, but they don't want the YouTube life. Like they don't want the publicity and stuff like that. And you not wanting that publicity, or you not wanting to be on like too many people to see you is you living out of fear because what? Come on, bro. You're scared because you might make it. Does that even make sense? That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are like that. Like me. Like I told y'all, I tell y'all this all the time. Bro, the podcast, I didn't feel like I was right for this podcast because of the fact that, bro, I'm a regular guy who's still, like I said, fall into sin almost every day, and I'm still learning my way as I go. You get what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, fear of success is a real thing, and then you got fear of standing out. Like I just said, a lot of people that want to do YouTube don't want to be in that spotlight. They don't want what comes with, with being a YouTuber. Like me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to be a Twitch streamer. I want to be a Twitch streamer. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But seeing what just happened, this past month and a half with the streamer rewards and everything else after the streamer awards, it's like, dang, bro. Like, do I even want to be in that community for real? You know what I'm saying? Because the community's so hectic right now. So like, you have that fear that you don't want to, you don't want to put yourself in that situation, right? And then the next one that we got is broken relationships and divorce cycles. Bro, broken relationships and divorce cycles is probably 65 to 70% of the generational curses that the world is going through right now, especially our generation, bro. Our generation, bro, my generation, bro, our generation don't know how to love. Our generation don't love. I'm not gonna lie to you. They don't love for the right reasons if they do love. Now I'm not saying that's everybody, but that's a lot of the people out here, bro. A lot of the people don't love for the right reasons, bro. You love for what somebody can do for you. You love the idea of somebody. You love the um bro, you love what oh, here's a big one. You love the version of that person you see them becoming instead of accepting that person for who they are. That is a lot of I think that's one of the main reasons we have this broken relationships and divorce cycle because of the fact that our parents, our parents are a lot of them either we seen them in a relationship for so long and we felt like we felt like we seen that relationship drain them. We feel like we seen a relationship for so long that we think like once you get in a relationship, it's like you're not yourself anymore. You're not free no more. Or bro, you get in a relationship and you feel like everybody's supposed to that the person you're dating is supposed to have it all figured out, and that's not the case at all, bro. I really feel like um broken relationships come from bro repeated unstable relationships, the lack of community and models. We don't have too many role models out here when it comes down to long-term relationships. You get what I'm saying? And I think the only ones that a lot of us really had was our great grandparents. And speaking for myself, bro, my great grandparents are gone. They're gone. So that example is gone. Even when they was here and they was moving around, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking for myself again. When they was moving around, bro, I was too young to even really see that. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I got old enough to ask questions, it was kind of like too late. So you know what I'm saying? So I feel like um just the lack of we don't have committed models, and then distrust nowadays is normalized, bro. People are so quick to sit there and be in a relationship with somebody, and the first time they do something wrong is I don't trust you, or yeah, every time it's I don't trust you. But at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, yeah, everybody make mistakes, right? Everybody make mistakes. I'm not gonna lie, and then there's some mistakes that are big enough where you can't come back from. But then again, but for the mistakes that you do say you can't come back from, if you say you're gonna forgive that person, bro, you have to forgive them and try to trust them again. You cannot sit there and be like, oh, I forgive you, and then absolutely put no trust into that person, then you just contradicted yourself on, you know, oh, I forgive you, and I still want to be with you. Do you get what I'm saying? That's technically a generational curse right there, bro, because of the fact that you are staying with somebody you don't trust, and now say y'all have a kid, and you still bringing up old stuff that he or she did in the past, and your kids seeing that now, and now they catching the vibe. Oh, they don't trust each other, or this, that, and the third. Now you building a generational curse right there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope what I'm saying makes sense to people. Honestly, if it don't, please let me know in the comments, and I'll tweak how I say things and the way I say them, just so it can be more understanding to people. Um, I feel like if chaos is all you know in your life, then peace will feel unfamiliar to you when it comes. And if chaos is all you know throughout your life, when peace come, it will feel unfamiliar to you, truly. And I've seen it. I've seen situations where people only thrive in chaos. Like literally, they only thrive in chaos. They can have a they can have a good couple of days with their significant other, and then they just have to find something to go off about. Or the moment they get something to go off about, they take it there. Like all the way there. And I feel like that's something you only do because of the fact that you've seen that somewhere, and you feel like that's a way you can communicate, or you need to communicate. Or if you don't have one of those situations in your life, in your relationship, then I guess it's not real to you. But me personally, I'm gonna tell you now, I don't like to thrive in chaos. I don't even like chaos. If we're arguing, I'm gonna sit there. All right, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you, but let's tone it down, and we come to back to an area where we can communicate to each other, where we not sitting there yelling each other heads off. That's how I'm moving. I'm not trying to, what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be that person that having a scream battle and all that stuff. That right there, I personally cannot do. I'm sorry to tell you that. But that goes into my next one, where I feel like if you can't thrive in chaos, this also comes from this. Low self esteem, worth, and identity confusion. Because of the fact that, bro, you know how much energy you have to give up from yourself, your personal self, to sit there and yell at somebody? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And then I feel like, bro, in certain situations, bro, you where you coming from, you ain't even gotta sit there and yell to the top of the moon and get your point across. You gonna say your point across whether it's yelling or not. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to this, it's just feeling like you're not enough, or living for approval, never believing you deserve more. And here it says some curses don't shout, they whisper. Yeah, which, them little voices in your head, where you got this idea, and you got this big idea, and then sit there and be like, you question yourself and be like, can I do this? Am I the one for this? Am I doing this right? Or, you know what I'm saying? That self doubt. Yeah, that's a generational curse, bro. I'm sorry to tell you that. I know I didn't know at first either, but bro, that's a generational curse. That's that's something that either was either taught to you, or um that's something that was either taught to you, or subconsciously you put that in your mind because somebody doubted you in the past. I know, right? Crazy, right? And next we go to spiritual disconnection. Oh, this one right here. This one is where I like, because of the fact that when you have spiritual connection, you get discernment, and you can really tell which generational curses you fighting every day. Me, when I got spiritual connection, I started going to church, I started reading the Bible more. I started peeping. I started peeping little stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I started peeping stuff a while back, but I think now that I'm in church and stuff and I read my Bible, I can peep it a little bit more and a little bit more clearly. You know what I'm saying? So with this one, Faith Ignore, faith ignored or misrepresented or represented, and then God associated with pain and not control. No spiritual foundation passed down. So like with these, to me, I feel like if you don't have like some type of foundation when it comes down to you and your relationship with God, whether and it's on a personal level, you know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that everybody grows up, everybody grows up going to church. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people grow up going to church. And I know with me, when you get to a certain age and your family start going to church, you start going to church too. And then when you start going to church, you don't really think nothing of it because back then you were going to church because you would drag to church. But nowadays, I go to church for my own understanding and my own connection. You know what I'm saying? So I think once you really get that foundation and your own understanding, you really should pass it on to your kids because of the fact that that foundation, that core, it opens doors for them and it also closes negative doors. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if we as a community, bro, and there's a lot of communities that do this, bro. When I don't know why, when I'm from Mississippi, um, so like that core of like church and God is really set into you, whether you like it or not. Like you gonna hear it in all conversations. I'm talking about, man, they gonna say God did everything. They ain't gonna lie. They gonna say God did everything from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So you really got that foundation already. But I think what it was over the years as we got older, the foundation stopped being it wasn't lost. It stopped being instilled. You know what I'm saying? Where like nobody was monitoring to you if you were doing it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you was nobody's sitting there over your shoulders telling you to pray. Nobody's sitting there over your shoulders telling you to read, read a couple verses and stuff like that. You actually got to go find that yourself. And I think we should, as a community, as a family, we should start back instilling that into our kids. You know what I'm saying? Into our families, like, bro, start back having prayer sessions. Start back having like little conversations, you know what I'm saying? Start back just going to church or something like that, bro. That foundation is really important to overcome a lot of these generational curses just so you can peep them out and you can stop it from happening. And that'll go into my next one in setting and playing small. It's saying accepting less than potential or fear of dreaming. Don't don't try hard mentally with these. I think for me it shows the fact that, bro, a lot of us do undercut ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we be so worried about, you know we be trying to so hard to get comfortable into our situation instead of trying to get uncomfortable into the situation. You get what I'm saying? Where a lot of us want a lot of us want a job just so, a stable job so we could pay bills, you know what I'm saying, and get by on life, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the other few that want to actually go start a business, travel the world, make a difference in the world. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people that sit there and settle on a 9 to 5, you undercut your position, you undercut your potential because, bro, you're very smart, you are very talented, but the fact that you were so afraid of your own talent, the world never got to see your talent. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, bro, a lot of people out here are truly actors. A lot of people out here truly actors, or a lot of people out here truly singers, or a lot of people out here are truly good at at doing something somebody else not, but because of the fact that they either heard somebody say something negative about it, or they seen somebody do it and they failed at it, or they just lost courage of trying. Bro, you undercut yourself. You undercut yourself, and then you accept less than your potential, which is, that's a generational curse. You probably seen like that probably happened to somebody else. That a lot of generational curses are not magic; they're passed down. You know what I'm saying? They're not magic; they're passed down. It's not something you just walk outside and it attached to you. No, it's something that was literally passed down. Like genes and genetics are passed down. Like bro, your genes and your connects carry some type of resemblance to your parents, and you're gonna get a little part of them. Just the same way that you look at them, you're gonna act like them. And then when you act like them, you're gonna do things like them, and that's you're gonna get generational curses because of the fact that, bro, what your parents did not fix, it will be passed down. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you have to sit there and you have to be the decider of, I'm not going to inherit this. I'm not going to continue like this. I'm not going to accept this and not do anything about it. And I don't say this to sit there and pass judgment on like our parents or anything. I say that because of the fact that I truly believe responsibility comes, or responsibility starts when awareness does. So what I mean by that is, bro, once you start becoming aware of all the bad habits that you have, of all the flaws that you have, and all the things that you know you are doing wrong, and you choose not to fix them, you get what I'm saying? You are intentionally building a generational curse. You're intentionally doing it. You are intentionally accepting the curse and being like, I'm not gonna change this. I'm gonna let this pass on to the next generation. And you're okay with that. And now you're okay with that, maybe this message isn't for you, but this is a message for the people that are out here right now and sitting here being like, bro, I know there's some generational curses that I go through, and I know there's some generational curses that I don't want to pass down to my children or the next generation. And I want to make a difference right now. You know what I'm saying? And I really want people to sit there and just think about that, because right now honestly, the goal isn't to sit there and judge where we come from. The goal is to decide what stops with us. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I just ask people to sit down and think like, what are some bad habits that I've seen and I don't want to pass along? You know what I'm saying? Or what's some self reflect on, what's some things that you do right now or that you used to do that you want to make sure that your kid don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. So this video has already gone on long enough, and I'll probably talk about this a little bit more in the next episode just because I don't want to make it too long. But no, real talk, generational curses is something that we really go through on a daily basis, and something that we have to come together, not just as ourselves, but as a community, and change, because of the fact that, yes, personally, we have generational curses, but I'm going to tell you now, as a community, and as a community, we have generational curses. I'm sorry. We have generational curses where, bro, a lot of people still tear down other people. That's a generational curse that you've seen back in the day. Come on, bro, you can't tell me that. Another generational curse that we go through is the fact that um what's some other things? Um we're gonna put them in the next episode. I can't really think no more right now. But yeah, one of our biggest generational curse I feel as a community is that we tear each other down, bro. We don't build each other up. We build each other up way more than what we do right now. We would be so far as a community that it would be insane. And I'm not just talking about, you know, my this community. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as a community in the world. You know what I'm saying? As a world, and we came together, bro, as a team, as one, and we sat there and we build each other up more than we tear each other down, we would be so far in life. You know what I'm saying? So, that is pretty much the end of this episode. I thank you guys for coming. I thank you guys for listening. I do love you guys. Merry Christmas. Video will be out today. No, I'm sorry. We'll have 2 videos this week. You know what I'm saying? So this will be the 3rd episode. Y'all be seeing this on Tuesday. Next episode will be on Thursday. And then we're going to do 2 more after that. I think we're going to do 4 weeks of 2 episodes each. And then we're going to go to 1 episode a week just because we want to build momentum and stuff like that. But I do thank you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to whoever you feel needs to hear this. And yeah, love you guys. We out.